Yes, guys, summer school is still in session, but the class is TMNT 101. TMNT Talk and I have been doing a lot of reading this summer, and reading has been fun. We've come across a lot of books that we didn't know existed, and today's show is no different. We're going to start in a few minutes with a crazy book called Playing with Power, and we're going to get a writer's perspective on the TMNT, which it's just sometimes some people just don't get stuff. So, Christian, you have a couple kids. So what is something your kids do that you just don't get? Like for me, the young generation, I don't have any kids, but the one slogan, we all had that, slogan too. But for me, it was dead ass. I still do not understand what that means. I don't know if that's reached your neck of the woods, but so many people say dead ass, and I still don't know the definition. So what are some things that, you may not get from the younger generations?
Well, yeah, I try to keep up with the kids, but it's really sometimes it's hard with the expressions they use. And well, but it's all good, It was the same with our parents. They didn't get the stuff that we were into, and I really try to keep up with my kids when they say something weird, like, "Okay, what does this mean? Explain it to me." It's not like, that's stupid. But sometimes sometimes the stuff that I don't get is when I see the things that my kids are laughing their ass off when they're on some TikTok videos or anything, and I'm sitting there and that's not funny. No, but it is. But it's an inside. It's an inside joke. You're like, okay, I'm not. I'm not in there. So I think that's the most, I don't know, weirdest thing that I'm into. I mean, just look at what was it like for the last year. What was the biggest laugh that you could get out of kids when you just said 6, 7? They were they're like, 6, 7, and I was like, that doesn't make any sense. Yeah, but that's the joke. That doesn't make any sense. I'm like, okay, you do your stuff. I'm fine with it.
Yeah.
So yeah, the humor.
Yes, exactly. So feel free to take us in right into our first book with Playing with Power, which talked about not only turtles, but a lot of stuff we enjoyed as kids. Muppet Babies, among others.
Yeah, Playing with Power. I mean, I love the subtitle, From Muppet Babies to Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And yeah, that was interesting. I was focusing on the TMNT stuff that's in there, and it's a book from 1991, and in the book they try to analyze through psychology why TMNT was so successful back then. Like, and it's like they want to say it is because kids want to be part of this cult, because everyone is buying the TMT stuff, watching the cartoon, etc., and they want to be in there. And there's so they're really, you should check this out, because there's so much stuff in there was like, I don't think you really get it. You're over analyzing here, in my opinion. I mean, when there's stuff like when they're talking about April and how she is portrayed as a strong female beside her co-worker Vernon, who, according to the book, could be gay. We don't know. And it also talks about the movie and like the father-son relationship, like Splinter and the Turtles, Shredder and the Foot Clan, Charles and Danny. There's so much father and son relationship in there, and how kids can relate to that. And they also have an analysis of the episode April Foolish, where we are told that women have to look pretty so that men like them. Like, I never got that from that episode. And I also thought it was kind of funny how deep they analyzed the turtles. I think it really, as I said, over analyzes everything. I mean, I don't think that, as they say it in the book, that Bubblegum Girl was there to present male longing. She was just part of the gang. It's like, yeah, there's one girl in there, and all the other boys, they are after her. It's like, never got that impression from the movie. But as I said, it was interesting to read like a different perspective. But to be honest, I wouldn't take it too seriously. I don't know how it is with you.
Yeah, no, there was no triggers like, what's going on here? Because, like, we know, everybody has the right to their opinion. But I thought the same thing. I'm like, both of us do have an interview with the Bubblegum Girl from the movie on our podcast channels. That would have been a fun one to ask her if we knew about this book when we had her on.
Yeah, I would really like to hear her opinion on this.
Yeah, we'll have to go send her a tag in that or something. She's still pretty active, I think, on Instagram. And I think Michelle Ivy, our good friend, got a great picture of her and Danny from the movie starting to make Comic-Con appearances now, too. So good to see the old movie family back in action. But coming up next, this is one I've been trying a long time to get you to read. Was finally like, you know what? Let me just send him a whole bunch of pictures. This is called the Teenage Mutant Hero Turtle Special. I have had this since I was a kid. I'm not sure how because it's UK related, but 48 pages of golden TMNT goodness from start to finish.
Yeah, I wonder how you got your hands on this because it is a UK book. It's really from the UK from 1991, and yeah, it's cool. It's like it has two comics, and they're original comics drawn in the UK. There's also a text story in there and information about the turtles and other characters. So I thought it was a really cool book. So, like, there's this comic story called High Rise Heist, where it starts off with Raphael reading a magazine, and in that magazine, people think that Leonardo is the toughest turtle, and he can't accept that and challenges the others to go outside to find out who really the toughest turtle is. But then there's a bank robbery, and the robbers escape with mini helicopters. And with the blimp, the turtles fight the bank robbers, but Raph actually is a bit afraid of heights, as it turns out. But he overcomes his fear and they stop the bank robbers. And back in the lair, Splinter gives Raph a t-shirt that says, "I am a tough turtle." And to be honest, I would like this shirt. Then there's a very cool text story called Shadow of the Ninja, where the Turtles and Splinter run into some footbots who stole some electronics, but they also run into a mysterious ninja who was destroying the footbots and then vanished. Splinter realizes that he knew the mysterious ninja. He was an old student of his when he was still Hamato Yoshi, and the guy is called Kurmo. At night, Splinter drives the turtle van to another break-in of the footbots, and he meets Kurmo there. Together, they fight the foot ninjas and Shredder, but there are too many. Then the turtles come in with the blimp, and together they destroy the footbots. But of course, Shredder escapes, and Kurmo goes back to Japan to restore the Foot Clan there to an honorable clan again, and never heard of him again. But yeah, I hope he was successful. And then there's another short comic story in there called Stranger Than Fiction, where Mikey reads a science fiction book when suddenly, in the middle of the city, a real spaceship lands next to him and weird orange aliens come out. Mikey and the aliens fight, but the aliens turn out to be robots, and of course, Shredder is behind it all. The other turtles appear and help Mikey against Shredder, Bebop, and Rocksteady. But Mikey's pizza is gone as it was stolen by real aliens who fly away in the spaceship. And yeah, that's the story. Gotta say, really cool book. Really enjoyed like also the information told from the turtles' perspective. Like Leonardo is talking about himself, like giving an introduction to himself and all the other characters. Really cool book. Really cool book. I gotta say.
Okay, so there is something on this book that I have here, because this, whatchamacallit, my grandma must have got this from a garage sale. So I know we're doing this, recording right now, but if you have a chance to scroll up there, I don't know if we can make this out, but there is an autograph on this Michelangelo page with all the pictures I sent. I don't know, I'm going to send it to you now just so we can look at it again. I want to decide who the heck this is. I wonder if it's a turtle celebrity from the UK or if it's like, it says here, to Koi. So my grandma used to be really big into garage sales, and I'm guessing this is where she got it from. But I'm going to send this over and see if you can, because it says something Michelangelo, and it looks like it's 92, and it starts with an A. I might have to write this in one of our turtle fan groups to see who this is, but I'm going to send the photograph now so you can see it in our Discord.
Okay.
And it says to Koi, or maybe it's Corey. Maybe that says Corey Kawabunga?
It could be Corey. Yeah, you're right. Or Carrie, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And then there's something
I have no
Michelangelo.
idea
Yeah.
I have no idea who that autograph could be.
It's got to be
Oh
someone in
boy,
the
I cannot decipher that.
I'll have to post in one of our special groups just to see, so we can see what.
Yeah.
I was flipping through the book. I'm like, wait, how did I never notice this before? Because I was going to get to Mikey. Of course, you knew I loved Mikey being the main event, right? Going after Shredder, getting that flying kick in. You knew I loved that part in there.
Yeah, that like the story was all about Mikey, and hey, he did well. It's really cool.
Oh yes, and that ninja book, dude. That was. I wish we knew who wrote that, because I would have loved to see that character in the cartoon. It was so good. And again, if you had the book in your hand while you're reading it, the main story ends at page 18 and then says continued on page 32, almost like it wanted it to give you chills. So we had to flip. It was like a little break. You had some profiles, the Turtles when they were in Disney. And now we're back with Shadow of the Ninja, and Splinter's driving the turtle van blindfolded, pretty much just going with his trance. So, yeah, dude, I'm so glad I got you. I don't know if it'll be a top 10 ever for you, but this one always holds sentimental value to me. And it seems like just the way you were talking about it, seems like you really enjoyed this one too.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I didn't even mention like the photographs from the turtles from the Disney show is in there, and some photographs like from the movie and other stuff. Like it's really a TMT fan book. And as I said, these stories, these comic stories, they are drawn in the same way that the Fleetway comics from UK were drawn. So probably the same people behind it. But I've never seen these comics before, so they must be really exclusive to this special, and that's really awesome.
Yeah, well, absolutely, my dude. Now we're gonna do something that most they're kind of familiar, but again, me and Christian, we like being complete. So, in case you guys didn't know, well, maybe you do because the first one actually just got re-released with color. The movies, the original trilogy had comics. So, what did you think of these original trilogy comics? Anything that stood out to you in particular with the first three?
Yeah, I mean, these I know and I read them before. Um, like, yeah, I mean, they're straight up adaptations of the movies, of all the three movies. As I was checking them out, like the first book, so for the first movie, there were two editions. One was printed by Mirage Studios in black and white, and one was by Archie Comics in color. And for the second and third movie, they were just in color, just by Archie. So only the first one was also printed by Mirage. I thought that was interesting. And yeah, mostly they are straight up adaptations, just retellings of the movies, with some differences in there. Like in the first movie, like April works for Channel 6. And when Rev comes out of the theater, he watched a movie called Bad Dude, not Critters. And Rev's fight with Casey goes on longer. And Splinter's backstory also includes Oroku Nagi. And yeah, with the second movie, there's not much difference. I didn't find much difference from the movie itself. Uh, with the third movie, there were some differences there. Like Mikey gets cut by a Norinaga, like in the novel that we talked about last time. And the samurai, when they're in New York, they also have a brawl in at the bar with Casey. The thing is the same thing with the ending, where Mikey, in the end, he asks, "Where is the pizza?" And there's no Splinter with a lampshade on his head. So there's a difference. So yeah, I guess that was like from an earlier cut or an earlier script that they took for the novel and for the comic. But yeah, gotta say, I always enjoyed these comic adaptations. They were cool. I liked the style. They were so, yeah, classic TMNT comic style. Um, and yeah, but pretty much besides some little differences, they are pretty much the same story than the movie.
Yep, I agree all the way. And again, just for people who are looking for, TMNT nostalgia, these aren't really that expensive. The third comic goes for a little bit more, I guess, maybe like 15 to 20 bucks on eBay, but still affordable. And, you might be able to find one in grade one if you ever want to invest. I enjoyed these. And another one that we wanted to talk about real quick, guys, just for the huge LOL. Did you get to see the kazoos for the first movie? Another thing, you're like, Mike, you got to be joking. This can't be real, but it's Turtles. It is. You get a whole set of different color kazoos, and you can, bop out the turtle power. Did you enjoy checking out that book and the? For those who don't know, YouTube, if you Google hard enough, you could find the kazoos playing with it.
That was like a memory that was re-unlocked, because I remembered, hey, I've heard this before, I've seen this before, now I remember why I forgot about them, because it's this book with a cassette tape and 4 different colored kazoos, and the cassette tape has the songs from the movie soundtrack, like Turtle Power and Spin That Wheel, and really the songs from the soundtrack, but they are played by a guy with a kazoo. So it's not like TURTLE power. No, it goes like, and it's wow, this is one of the things, like, back from Turtle Mania, is like, they really did everything back then, right? They really did everything. I mean, it's funny, and it's done well, I gotta say. But I don't know if it's like, this is the soundtrack that I would listen on a long drive. I think I prefer the original, but it exists and it's part of Turtle history. And for this, it's fun. I enjoy it in a way.
Christian, I'm going to put you on the spot then. You're in the hot seat. So, as you know, with kids, they love repeating stuff over and over and over again. Now, me personally, if I had kids, I wouldn't buy them this. But let's say a random hip aunt knows that they like Turtles and they bought this, and your kid's playing with the kazoo and spin that wheel. How long are you going to tolerate it before you say, okay, we got to do something else?
If they like play the soundtrack, the kazoo soundtrack on repeat, I mean, I'm a calm person, but I think after the third run, I would throw the cassette player out of the window. Just an example. We had a flute. We had a flute, and the kids were playing with the flute. They loved playing with the flute. They were running around the house playing the flute, and they couldn't play it. It's not. They just were having fun making sounds. This flute mysteriously disappeared some time ago, so they don't play the flute anymore. And just an example here, here would be the same thing. After a while, it's like, no, let's do something different. Like, I don't know, the cassette tape, it disappeared. I don't know where it went. It's weird, but yeah, I'd give it some time. But after 3 reruns, I think it would be over. It'd never be seen again.
This is one of those where I wish we had the camera on, because I almost fell out of my chair, because the way you delivered that, you didn't even give him a chance to say, can we do something else? You literally just said, for the record, no, this is done. This has to go. No, please stop. No, let's do something. You just are grabbing it, throwing it out, and let's move on, guys. Let's go get some ice cream, or like Splinter was doing in those books that we read in a previous episode here on Shellonomics on Spotify and YouTube. Let's go get some hot cocoa and ditch this cassette. Yeah. Oh, that was hilarious. All right. Well, that wraps up our Turtle Mania era. And now we are going to go into the 2007 era TMNT. Christian dug in here and found some books about them. So we've got the movie one for starters.
Yeah, the 2007 TMNT movie also had a novel, and it's the same thing. It's pretty much just a retelling of the 2007 movie, done well. I really enjoyed reading this. The the novel actually doesn't start with the legend of Yautl. If you remember the movie, it starts off with the legend like 3,000 years ago, this and this and this happened. And it doesn't start with that. Later, Winters tells April the story when she brings the statue to him. In the middle of the book, by the way, are some screenshots from the movie with description like, yeah, these are the turtles and so on and so forth. And yeah, but pretty much the story is the same as in the movie. Some things that I thought were interesting is like in the novel, Raph mentions Utroms and Triceratons. That didn't happen in the movie. And we get a little bit in there that we also didn't have in the movie, like that it wasn't the portal's power that cursed the generals and Winters. They were cursed by a witch that was like, oh no, you opened the portal and now you're going to be cursed with immortality. So some differences in there. Once again, it's pretty much I guess the same thing as with the comics for the 90s movies or the novels for the 90s movies, where they were working with an earlier script, or maybe it was just cut for the theatrical release. So we have some differences in there, but mostly it's pretty much the same story, but done very well, gotta say.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. What I really enjoy are the next two books because the artwork is off the charts. That Leonardo drawing at the end of the next book you're about to break down, oh, what, as you like to say, chef's kiss.
Yeah, these are really cool. We have two kids books with really good art, I gotta say. First one is called The Legend of Yautl, where we meet an alien observer who tells us what happened 3,000 years ago. So it's pretty much a retelling of the mysterious story of Yautl and his four generals. And how they opened a portal and released certain monsters, and then they were cursed by a shaman, by a witch. So that must have been in there for a pretty long time when they were adapting this in this way before it got cut for the movie. And so now in present time, Yaotl wants to open the portal again, but will the turtles be able to stop him? Gotta watch the movie to find out. So yeah, it's pretty much a retelling of the backstory from Yaotl, aka Max Winters. And I gotta say, this book I really like, and I remember that I actually have this book that I bought it back then, and I always enjoyed. Like we see all 13 monsters on one page, and they all get names. So this is stuff that I really enjoy when you get some more background information for like a movie or TV show or anything in a book. And so this it's short but really cool.
Especially for this genre, TMNT, there are so many fans that I still talk to this day that wish we got that sequel that was supposed to happen, or even a cartoon. Yeah. You know, how many times did Disney do it, right? You had the Aladdin movie, you had the Aladdin cartoon afterwards. This would have been a perfect, you know, cartoon somehow. I do understand that the 2003 show was still going on, but it would have been okay to have two different TMNT cartoons going on at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, I would definitely would not complain. Like, even it would be like, I don't know, a mini series or anything, like 10 episodes or anything. I would be totally fine with it. Like, yeah, it's really a shame that we never got a follow up to that movie.
Yeah, I agree. All right, my dude, feel free to pop us into the next one.
Yeah, the second companion book to the 2007 movie is called Leonardo Returns. And this retells the part of the movie when Leo comes back from his training and he tries to motivate the other turtles so they go for a run on the rooftops. But then is the part where they run into the foot soldiers and a monster at a construction site. And the most interesting part here is that the monster is not Bigfoot, but a werewolf. So, I mean, as I said, it's pretty much just they took a part out of the movie where the turtles they run into Foots and Karai and the monster. But I thought it was very, because we also have this drawings. I thought it was very weird that it's not the Bigfoot, but really you see in the drawing it's like a giant wolf, a werewolf. So like, okay, maybe that was also something that was changed later on or anything. But yeah, it once again cool, and gotta say the artwork is also very cool. I liked it.
Me too, and kudos to Jack Black. I'm gonna see if I can get in contact with him because he's got some good stuff. I did a little bit more homework, and this is one we'll maybe talk offline about. He actually wrote interviews for a UK-based Ninja Turtles magazine. And I know that's what you've been covering mostly, right? Those paninis and whatnot.
Oh, yeah, like for the 2012 show, was he involved there? Or was it like for I think they did some for the 2003 show?
Yes, that's that. Yeah, 2003.
Must be that. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure we'll have to pop into those sometime. So just again, it's just always nice to see these names that just go on, and they just do so. I mean, so many people just it's incredible. Again, Turtles have been around for well over 40 years now, and there's so many people that just find a way to put their own touch and spin on it, and it just works. And it gets guys like me and you and other fans around the world that get just so hyped. Even the last two we've got here, we understand some people aren't going to be the biggest Bay fans, but hey, man, it's Turtles. I got to go to when this first one came out, an exclusive screening. It was pretty cool. I got a headband. I got a Turtles foam finger. I had fun with it. So feel free to pop in our next two books that are about 150 pages each. This is if you want to really enjoy your summer reading.
Yeah, it's like, we really worked through these, and I mean, it takes some time to read through these books. So yeah, the 2014 and 2016 movie, they both had novels, like novelizations based on the movie. They were done by Random House. It's also a name that we heard before here. So the 2014 movie is a pretty straight up adaptation with just little differences in there. Like when Leo, Mike, and Donnie, when you remember when the Shredder and the Foot, they attack the Turtles lair, and like Leo, Mike, and Donnie, they were captured by the Foot, and in the novel they surrendered to Shredder during his attack. They were not beaten down. They were like, "Hey, we give up. Let Splinter live." And yeah, Shredder took them. And one thing that I thought was interesting, that if you remember, like at the end of the movie, the Turtles have this little van, and here in the novel they call it the Shell Racer.
Yeah,
like whoa, that's a name that they didn't hear in the movie. But here we also have, in the middle of the book, there are pictures of the Turtles and Splinter and short descriptions of the characters. So I thought that was also very cool. So yeah, I just think it's cool that we got adaptations, like novelizations of the movies. Up to here. So that's cool. I like it.
I think I was going to ask you this. We probably talked about it before. Would you have rather had Eric Sachs be Shredder? Because again, he was a big pivotal role, and I believe was supposed to be the Shredder until they changed the script almost last minute, right?
Yeah, pretty much. Like Eric Sachs or Rokusaki, they tried to be the same guy, but yeah, people were not happy with that, so they changed it like the last moment. And this is something that I think about when watching the movies. Like, could it work? I'm not sure. I mean, gotta say, the guy who played Shredder in the movie, Tohoro Masamune, he was really cool. He was really badass in the movie. And Eric Sachs, played by William Fichtner, he's a great actor. I really like him whenever I see him. But he doesn't really scream Shredder for me. I mean, it could have worked because he's got like this mechanized armor, but he's no martial artist or anything. So I still don't know if it would have worked better if Eric Sachs would have been a Shredder. Um, Not sure about it. I'm fine with the way it is. It works for the story of the movie, but yeah, I would have liked to see like an earlier cut of the movie when he was still Shredder. Maybe it could have worked, but to be honest, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. It would have been like little disbelief in there. Like that guy is beating up Splinter, and he's just a businessman. Like I don't know. I'm not sure about it, but the way it works in the movie now is totally fine with me.
It's pretty much well said there too, because you're getting vibes of almost like an Iron Man or a Batman, right? Where he doesn't really have the well, Batman can fight, but I mean, like Iron Man really was more just the suit helped him out. So I hear you loud and clear on that, and we never really heard about him in the second movie too much. So
No.
but we've got one more book to go here.
Yeah, that's interesting. We have Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Out of the Shadow, also got a novelization, and it's the same thing here with the 2014 movie. It's a movie novelization with just little differences. Like the novel starts with the Halloween parade where Mikey wants to take part in, and that's a scene that happens later in the movie. I also thought it was interesting that Krang is written with two A's in this novel. So Krang. So, yeah, like more like the race of Krang. Also, once again, in the middle of the book, there are pictures of the turtles, Splinter, Casey, and Bebop and Rocksteady. And the weirdest thing, I was really checking out other scans and other information about the book because weirdly the book ends just before the turtles get ready to go to the Technodrome to fight Krang. It ends with, yeah, we are ready, we can do anything, Kawabanga, and then it just ends and the book ends. So there's no big final fight. I thought it was so weird. It just stops. And as I said, I was really checking out other scans. Like I thought, oh my god, they cut off the novel and they end at the same time. And then I was checking out like information like on Amazon and stuff, like, okay, how long is this book supposed to be? And it lines up with the page count. So it just ends before the turtles go to the Technodrome. And I thought, I don't know why. It's really strange because up to that, it was a really cool adaptation, really well written. But yeah, it's a story that never get a finale. Like if you want to see how this ends, go see the movie in theater. I don't know. It's kind of strange, but okay.
Just imagine if that was the early script and they're like, yeah, we'll just make a third movie. That would have really been a bummer. Because like we were saying, a lot of these books we were talking about had almost like the first movie comic we talked about felt like it had deleted scenes in there, kind of, sort of, with some stuff that we thought could have been added. And yeah, this pretty much took away from the book, obviously. Yeah, we'll help you guys out. Okay, the end, we're all happy. But we don't know what happens to Krang. So to be continued. Yeah. But we definitely don't want to end the show on that because we do have a couple more minutes before we go. We know you're a big gamer like myself in the Turtleverse. I am a little bit behind. So can you share what the new DLC has been like for Splintered Fate? I'm pretty sure you have it already.
Oh, yeah. I have it. I played it. And yeah, this week there's been a big update for Splintered Fate with a new story, which should be the finale of the story. Because if you played Splintered Fate and you remember, like there was some mysterious person behind the shredder, and we finally find out who it is, and we get to confront that mysterious person. And we also get two DLCs that you can download for just some like $4 or $5. And like one of them has Slash. Yes, Slash is finally playable in the game, and he's really a tank character. He's slow but super strong. How like he punches through the foot. Really cool. And the second is the samurai armor. You get samurai armor for all characters, just like just skins, but they look really cool. Like Casey has this doesn't have his hockey mask. He has this Oni mask, this Japanese Oni demon mask. It looks so cool. And probably the most important thing of the update is that Pepperoni, the little pet dinosaur, runs around in the turtle's lair. She doesn't do anything. She just runs around, is cute, and you can follow it around. And I love it. I love it. Just to have her there. Oh my god, she's fantastic. So yeah, the biggest update probably, as the way it looks now, it's the final. It could be the final update, at least for the story. And the way the story goes, it's really cool. I think it's really cool. It's hard. It's hard. Really like, hey, we want to give you one more run for the money. But if you enjoy Splintered Fate, you really should check out this update. You should really get it. So yeah, that's my little opinion on this update that we got this week.
Yes, that's what I wanted to hear, because I'm pretty sure you'll be covering it on your channel soon. And I've loved that one, and I think both of us are very thankful, because still, this is the only Ninja Turtle game out there that is crossplay, unless you count Fortnite. But this is an authentic Ninja Turtles experience, and what a run this game has had, man. You know, how many times have we talked about turtle things that had too short of a shelf life? The Peter Laird comics that never got finished, the Tails Turtles that ended up short. Another one that's shorter than we wanted to, Saturday Morning Adventures, which is really winding down now, man. How have you enjoyed reading those last few issues?
Oh yeah, I mean, the last few issues were fantastic. They're just having so much fun with this, yeah, it's really sad to see it go. I mean, from what I heard, the last issue that comes out in September, issue 41, will really like a farewell issue. So I'm really looking forward to that one for the fans. And hey, as someone who grew up with the classic cartoon, these comics, they were everything I wanted. They were just so much fun, so enjoyable. Callbacks to early adventures, characters coming back, cameos, Easter eggs. Really, they have everything. It's like really a love letter to the classic cartoon. And yeah, it's really sad to see it go. It really, they could have gone up to issue 50 at least to I don't know, make it feel complete. But hey, 41 issues is not bad. It's really you can really respect that it went on for so long as it did. So, but still, it's sad to see it go. I would have really enjoyed to see more of it.
Oh man, especially after I was able to talk to Eric Berneman, just breaking it down those issues with you. We got a lot more to cover here, but guys, if you want more on Saturday Morning Adventures, some other games, which is the one I still enjoy, is that new one I still have not played, the VR Turtle game that you were able to play and talk about on your channel. Where can they find you, bro?
Yes, if you want to hear more from me, you should check out Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: The Talk, my podcast, where I talk about the newest turtle stuff, like the newest comics. Just this week, I released a new episode where I talked about TMNT number 19 and 20 by IDW Comics. And oh boy, what a ride that one is. So yeah, check out TMNT The Talk on Spotify, Apple Podcast, or wherever you listen to podcasts. Or just go to the website tmnttalk.com, where you find all the newest stuff, all the information, everything that you need for more turtle podcast fun.
Oh man, well, we're still going to be in school here, dude. We've got some more summer reading in the next few weeks. So we've got 2012 books. We've got 2003, which we should be covering next week. So appreciate you guys sticking around. Be sure to like and subscribe. And until next time, dude, thanks as always.
Oh, cowabunga dudes.